use, well, I'm going to use quite a bit of butter. This is a butter dish. Chicken marsala is not non-fattening. So I'm going to start off with maybe a tablespoon or two of the butter and an equal amount of the olive oil. And the olive oil and butter combined together prevent the butter from actually burning, and I don't want it to burn. So my asparagus is starting to come to a boil. Again, I'm going to let it boil for just a little bit, and then I'm going to turn it completely, almost off. Okay, it's coming to a rolling boil, so I'm going to turn it way down. Way down, way down. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my chicken in. Now what I'm looking for in my chicken is I want a nice crisp outer crust, because we're going to add so much liquid to it that if we don't crisp it up, that outer crust is just going to sort of melt into the sauce. So we don't add any extra ingredients except for the butter and olive oil. We're going to flip the chicken. We might add a little bit more butter and olive oil. Just depends on how much that first side absorbed. It's going to depend on the size of your chicken breast, the thickness of your breading. There's a lot of factors that go into it, so I can't really say that it's 1 tablespoon of butter and 1 tablespoon of olive oil. It's kind of a touchy-feely thing. So we're almost ready to turn them over, and I'm just going to check on the asparagus here. And my pasta sauce is doing just fine. I'm going to turn that off. It thickens with 5 minutes of sitting on its own. Okay, the chicken is looking just about done on that other side. So I'm going to go ahead and just flip it over. Yep, that's pretty done. I'm going to add a little bit more olive oil. Just a little. Okay, the other side is done. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start adding the flavoring. So the first thing that we want to add is the mushrooms that we'd already previously cooked in all of their juices. We're going to add another chunk of butter, a little bit of the hollandaise, and I like to cut this down a little bit, and purists would probably protest, but I like to cut it down with a little bit of chicken stock. So this is a cup of chicken stock, and I'm just going to put a little bit of that in. And we see it all bubbling and boiling together. And the butter and the wine, the Marsala wine, is going to thicken and become just a wonderful creamy sauce. Now I'm going to turn the chicken over so that we get the other breaded side soaked with that sauce. I'm going to add a little bit more of the Marsala wine, a little bit more of the chicken stock. That's looking good. Flip it one more time just to make sure that it's nicely soaked in the sauce. Pounded chicken does not take very long to cook, so, and you know, it doesn't have to be completely white all the way through. A little bit of pink is okay. I've been eating it for years. That smells good. When I plate this up, I'm going to take the chicken out first, and I'm going to let the sauce reduce for just a couple of more minutes. I just want to concentrate it a little bit, thicken it up. Okay, that's done. Everything. The asparagus is fork tender. I turned it off at just the right time. The pasta sauce has been sitting for about, or the pasta, for about 5 minutes. I'm going to let that thicken up just a little bit more. Got the chicken going. Dinner's on. Put the sauce onto the chicken breast with a bunch of the mushrooms. Don't do that, that's dangerous. Here we have the final product. Not too shabby. Everything's on. I'm done.